This is the Berman Method podcast featuring Dr. Jake Berman and physician assistant Jenni Berman. We are here to treat problems and not symptoms. Disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and not to treat anyone or to give medical advice. If you are interested in any information that we are giving and would like to use this for yourself, we recommend that you contact your primary care physician or reach out to us and ask us questions about yourself specifically. Enjoy.
Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. The Berman Method podcast, where we're focused on treating problems and not symptoms. You should see Jenni's face right now. She is not impressed at all with my impromptu intro right there.
I just wonder, hi, I'm Jenni Berman, physician assistant, by the way. We are the Berman Method, treating problems, not symptoms. I was just thinking while you were doing that is, do people start out this podcast and be like, whoa, turn it down? Because you're like always screaming at the beginning. And then they have to slowly
but they're used to it by now. What is this, episode 55, 60? 70?
Something.
Should be used to it by now.
Close to 70.
So turn it way down when you press play because you know I'm going to be right there in your ear, baby.
Can you believe it's the last week of October?
Is it?
Last Monday of October, I think. Which
means Halloween's coming up?
Oh, wait, maybe next Monday is the last Monday. But yeah, Halloween is this weekend. Florida, Georgia's this weekend.
Yeah.
Go Gators, chomp chomp. Largest cocktail party in the whole wide world.
Yep. Happy birthday, Sarah Hoskin.
Yes.
All right. She's a Halloween baby.
Halloween baby. Happy birthday to all the Halloween babies out there.
Yeah.
So I saw a Christmas tree already up. Where was I? I was driving and it was like in a big window.
Why wouldn't it be?
I was like, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. There's a Christmas tree yet.
Yeah, get ready. You got to get started.
I did see Christmas stuff in Hallmark in July, I think.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for Christmas in July. It was legit. But anyways, Halloween's this weekend. Start of sugar season.
Yeah.
Starts this weekend.
Yeah. So if you haven't gotten your flu vaccinations yet, make sure you run out there and get them, because after you poison yourself with your damn sugar holiday this weekend, and then the pie holiday for Thanksgiving, and then the candy and booze holiday for Christmas, followed by a booze holiday at New Year's, you're going to need it because you're going to get the flu, and it's the flu's fault. So get the flu vaccine.
My book came out.
Thanks for changing the subject real fast.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, sugar is poison. Sugar increases inflammation. We already know the effects it has on blood sugar, which has a laundry list of side effects when our blood sugar is unstable. I actually had somebody reach out to me in her mid-30s, maybe 40, but I don't even think so yet, tell me she's already having hot flashes and night sweats and hormonal issues, like she's going through early onset menopause. And this was through Instagram that she had reached out, and I tagged her in one of our posts that actually talks about menopause and hormone imbalances and how much it can actually be related to a blood sugar instability. Her response back was, oh yeah, I actually just got diagnosed with sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is one of the most common causes or symptoms, results of blood sugar instability. And so the point of this is it all comes down to when your blood sugar is unstable, it is causing systemic effects on your body. And we do want to connect that over to pain too, because sugar instability, high blood sugar, a lot of sugar in our system, because it's so inflammatory, actually increases pain response, and because of the inflammatory process. So we can talk about my book at the end. Let's keep going, because this is like a passion. We just kind of jumped right in. We were going to talk about other things first, but this is how our podcast goes. We get on a topic and we're passionate about it, and here we go. So sugar.
Back pain and knee pain was the things that I wanted to cover today, because we haven't really talked about in a while. And we did want to tie it into sugar, because excessive consumption of sugar exacerbates the pain intensity or pain response of those that do already have chronic back pain, chronic knee pain, and it just makes it worse. So one of the things that we do want to remember is that as we go into this holiday season, in general, we become less active than we were prior to this. I don't know why. We just say that, you know what, screw it. It's the holidays. We start the holidays mid-October, and the holidays season, I'm doing air quotes right now, the holiday season usually ends around mid-January.
We're busy.
Yeah. Too busy to take care of our bodies.
That was one thing they talked a lot about, that mastermind we were commenting on last week, which if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, we talked about 2 really special keynote speakers, and that was really, really effective. But one of the things they both talked about is we're too busy. We're too busy to challenge our brain, to take care of ourselves, to learn and repeat. So same thing applies through the holiday season where we quit taking care of our body. Not only are we eating a lot of sugar and inflammatory foods, but we move our bodies less and blame it on the fact that there's too many events, too much family in town. We're too busy.
Oh my gosh, that drives me absolutely nuts. I'll be working with clients in the PT room or even in the golf room. And the number one reason for people rescheduling appointments this time of year, again, through this one is essentially through April, including spring break, right? Is I have family in town. I'm like, what? We're talking about an hour out of your day, out of your week. You can't make time. You can't figure out a time to schedule 1 hour to come work on your back pain, work on your core activation, glute activation for your golf game because your family's in town?
Right. Where's your priority?
It's like, what the hell? And I know what you guys are doing when family's in town because Jenny, you have a giant family. And when we have family in town, when we have family events, it's not always go, 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 go. There is a lot of time where we're just sitting around the house and socializing. It's like, what? You can't tell me that your family wouldn't understand if you left for 2 hours, assuming you have a 30-minute commute to me, and then an hour session with me, and then a 30-minute commute back home.
Right.
Like your family wouldn't think that it's okay if you left for 2 hours once for the entire week to make sure that your back doesn't flare up. It just drives me nuts.
Right. We have to set our priorities effectively. We have to focus on what is the most important for us because it comes down to then we don't do it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, and we're set back. I mean, you go through so much, you work so hard to get at a point, and it can take you 2 months to get to a certain point. It could take you 1 week to unset it.
Yeah, you got to think about this game, whether we're talking about physical health or the gut health. It doesn't matter what health it is. You got to think about it as momentum. So you got this giant boulder, and it takes a lot of effort and energy and intention to just get it to start moving. Like it's really hard to get this heavy ass rock to start moving. But once it starts moving, it takes less and less effort to keep it moving. Then once you have it moving at a steady pace, it takes the least amount of effort to keep it moving at that steady pace. Now your family comes in town for a week and you're too busy to give me 1 hour out of the entire week. Does that boulder keep moving at the same speed? No.
Regressing.
Yes. Even if you're feeling better, even if your back's feeling better, your knee's feeling better, your neck, your shoulder, whatever it is, you quit pushing that thing for a week, it starts to slow down. So then if you just, best case scenario, come back the next week, we've got to imply more effort and energy to get it back up to speed again than we would have if you would have came the previous week. But like you said, it's usually not just 1 week. I got family in town. Okay, so I can't come this week. Okay. And then the next week, well, I got to catch up because my family was in town last week. Now I have to clean up. And I'm like, what? So you're going to spend the entire week cleaning your house and reorganizing and putting shit away.
Meanwhile, they're cleaning their house with not the right proper form or technique. And they've already last week with their family with an increase of sugar and carbohydrates and alcohol and different types of activities. They've already unset, is that a word or a term? Unset what they had been working on, put themselves backwards a step. Now they're cleaning and doing all these other activities after their family leaves with their pelvis out of place or with their neck not where, posture not where it should be, muscles not activating the way they should be. And now they're back 5 steps and not just 1 step.
It's like, what the heck? Come on. It's gotten to the point now to where it's like, no, keep the appointment and bring your grandkids with you. Let them go raise hell in the golf room. Let them whack golf balls around and we'll be done in 30, 45 minutes. And then you guys can leave. Your grandkids had fun. You got your back. You kept your momentum going with your back. It's a win-win-win across the board.
Right.
What the hell?
Better yet, bring your sister or your aunt in the office too and get them some treatment.
Yes. I love that. When people have siblings in town, there is no better time in the whole entire year than that day to bring them with you and let them see what we're doing, because I guarantee you, if you ask them what they picture a session with us is like, they won't even be close to reality. You know, they're probably thinking that we're like every other cookie cutter in town, and you go to a gym setting and there's a bunch of exercise equipment and you've got rubber bands and you're doing things and you're getting some ice and some electricity on you at the end of the session. It's not even close to that. So bring them with you. You know, quit being selfish, damn it.
That's right. And you work virtually, so if they leave town, they can keep getting treatment while they're gone.
Oh, wow. Is that a new thing? Or has it been going on for years now?
Yeah. Thanks, COVID.
No, I can't keep my session because I'm leaving town. Oh, right. Do you have this high-tech thing in your pocket that's never more than 3 feet away from you at any given time called a cell phone? I'm pretty sure it's not a flip phone. Pretty sure it's a smartphone. I'm pretty sure it has a camera on it, and I'm pretty sure it has a screen on it. We're going to do a virtual session. It's going to be a 20-minute virtual session, and it's going to be exponentially better for you to do that 20-minute virtual session than to skip it completely.
Right. Exactly.
I'm on a rant right now.
Yeah. So the point is, if you're going to eat more sugar, which you should think about that, stop and think. Sugar's inflammatory. You need to keep up with your health in your body, with your physical therapy, with your dietary sessions, with your exercise, with your water intake, to at least try to partially offset the increase of sugar that we're consuming.
Yes.
We need to put our bodies first as a priority. We know we're going to have more calories. We know we're going to have more sugar through the next 3 months. I mean, it's there. We know that even if you're not overindulging, you're going to have more than you normally would for most individuals. And so if that's the case, we have to put the priority of our health first and really focus on the other things that we can do to improve our quality of life and our health to maintain through the holidays.
Just think about the momentum thing. Really think about the momentum. You spend 3/4 of a year getting that boulder moving with momentum. So you're working pretty hard for 3/4 of the year. And then all of a sudden, right at the end, we just say, okay, I'm going to take a break. So then when you start again back in mid-January, because nobody ever starts their New Year's resolutions January 1st, right? Well, I'll start it next week, which usually turns into the following week. You got to get the damn thing moving all over again. It doesn't stay moving for 3 months while you take a break. Even if you took a break for a week, it's still going to slow down exponentially faster than if you would have kept it moving. So what do you think? Let's think about this. And I'll come down off my pedestal here for a minute and say, let's think about it this way. You know that you have been pretty much flatlined for the past 5 years. If you look at your physical, the shape that you're in, your physical abilities, how strong you are, your endurance, just take a look at your past 5 years and say, yeah, I'm not really better than I was 5 years ago. I'm not really worse than I was 5 years ago. I'm pretty much the same. And if you say that, reality is you're probably worse than you were 5 years. You're not being truthful to yourself because you didn't have an objective measurement of yourself 5 years ago. And the reason why that is because we use the holiday season as an excuse. Every single one of us uses it to some extent as an excuse to not stay disciplined for a certain period of time. Now, hypothetically speaking, let's say we do stay disciplined for the next 3 months. What do you think your life is going to look like a year from now? Is it going to be better, worse, or the same?
Better.
At least there's a chance for it to be better.
Yeah.
Because you're keeping the momentum going.
Right. And you're never staying the same. If we're not progressing, we're regressing, right?
Yeah, that's a brutal fact of life in general. You can look at anything in this world that is living. There is nothing on this planet that is not one of two things, either living or dying. Either growing or dying. It's as simple as that. Look at a tree. A tree is either growing or it gets to a point where it stops growing and now it's going to start dying. It may take 10, 20, 50, or even 100 years, but it's no longer growing anymore. Now it's on the downside. It's dying. So the same thing is true with a business. Businesses can't just, what's the right word? Just
sustain.
You can't just sustain in business. You either grow or you die. Meaning if you want to make the same exact revenue next year as you did this year, and you want to keep doing that year after year after year, eventually you're going to die because inflation is going to take you out of the race. Wages are going to take you out of the race. Same thing is true for us in our bodies, where you're either progressing or you are regressing. We actually just got giant wall words and put this on one of our walls in the PT room because so many people come to us for a plan of care. Let's just use back pain, for example. Somebody has back pain. They come in and we recommend a plan of care. And at the end of that plan of care, 18, 20, 30 sessions, whatever it is, you're feeling really, really good. And then you go back north for the summer because you're a snowbird and you say, no, I'm good. I don't need to continue with virtual sessions or monthly check-ins or anything. Well, it's not true. You either keep progressing or you will start regressing. There is no status quo. You will never, ever be able to just maintain unless you're pushing yourself to progress. And if you're not progressing, you're regressing. Brutal facts, right?
It is, but something we have to think about it every single day. You know, we talked about it last week where we have to push ourselves to be uncomfortable. And if we show up, we will be successful as long as we can let go of our mind. We can keep the head in the game in a positive way, essentially, but we have to show up for our bodies. We have to continue to push and make ourselves uncomfortable so we can continue that progression.
We actually didn't say that last week. And I'm glad you said it this week because that was one of the things we were supposed to say explicitly last week was it Damon or James that said, when was the last time you intentionally made yourself uncomfortable? I think it had to have been James.
Yeah.
Had to have been. Because growth does not occur, progress does not occur when you're comfortable. It just doesn't. When you're comfortable, you are regressing because nothing stays the same. You're either progressing or you're regressing. So when is the last time you intentionally made yourself uncomfortable? This could be psychologically, mentally, trying to learn something, or physically in the gym. Did it this morning, right? I got on the rower. I hadn't been trying to push myself on the rower in at least 6 months. And I looked at what I did 6 months ago and I'm like, oh my gosh, at 3 minutes, I had 817 meters. Like, that's really hard. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it this morning. Let's see what we got. And I made it to 740 something. I'm like, oh my gosh, not even close. I got to get back on this thing because I hadn't done it in 6 months. I had regressed. Mm-hmm. Even though I was still rowing every single week for the past 6 months, I wasn't intentionally putting myself in an uncomfortable situation. So I did not maintain what I had 6 months ago. I actually regressed. So starting this morning, I started making myself intentionally uncomfortable. And hopefully a couple of weeks from now, I get back to where I was and better and keep progressing.
Right. And we've talked about this before where our body doesn't stay the same. If we do the exact same thing that we do today, a year from now, we're actually worse because our body is a year older. You know, our muscles are a year older, our blood's a year older. So if we're doing the same exact thing this year that we're doing this next year, we're not stronger. We're not better. We're not the same. We've actually regressed. So we have to continue pushing our body and continue to grow. So back on the subject of it's the last week of October.
Last week of October.
We need to be very mindful about the next 3 months and what we're doing, what our priorities are, what we're doing with our body, and are we going to progress for the next 3 months, or are we going to regress over the next 3 months?
Yeah, it's one of two options. You do not have a third option. You can either consciously choose to progress the next 3 months, or you will regress. It's as simple as that. But we got to get back to the book.
Well, okay, quickly. I don't think we have much time left.
We do. It's only 21 minutes.
My book is out.
Come on. You're always go, go, go. Give the people what they want. They want to be excited about your book.
Jenni Berman, physician assistant, wrote a book. It is out. It is officially on Amazon. We can link it in the show notes. The entire book is...
What is it called?
Simply...
What's it called?
Well, The Berman Way. It's called The Berman Way to Treating Weight Loss, Gut Health, and Hormone Imbalances. And so the whole book is essentially what we do in our practice with our clients that are in person in a nutshell, with tips and tools that you can start working on your own. But what it is about all the things that we've talked about on this podcast: blood sugar instability, hormone imbalances, the impact of our gut health, food sensitivities, stress response, water intake. Is going to walk you through every different aspect and help you with at least one tip, if not more, from each area on improving your overall lifestyle, health, metabolic dysfunction, trying to get you off of some of the medications that you're on, and just kind of giving you an introduction, building your trust for what we can do for you and that we know we can do for you. Again, it's on Amazon. We'll link it in the show notes, but The Berman Way to Treating Weight Loss, Gut Health, and Hormone Imbalances, and helping you to improve your overall quality of life.
That's exciting and all that stuff. Yeah, that's good and stuff. But the real reason why you should buy this book is because you get to know us and our family better. There's a lot of pictures in this book.
Yeah, there are pictures of our family.
And a lot of details on the personal aspect of it. So it's not just a business book, right? It's not just about healing your gut. It's really get to know us better, and it will really help you get a better understanding of why we're so passionate about what we're doing and the reason why we're essentially so successful at what we're doing here.
We've lived it. So the whole beginning of the book is going to tell you about my story, which we've talked about before, my gut health story, our infertility story, which we talked about just 2 podcasts ago. If you didn't listen to that one, came out October 9th, October 10th. So go back and listen to that podcast. But it tells you our story and what we've lived and how we started treating problems and not symptoms, how we had to go against corporate medicine to help me, to help myself. And that's really what got us into this passion of treating problems and not symptoms. So building that trust and knowing that we understand what you're going through. We understand the difficulty to say no to sugar. We understand the difficulty in not being motivated every single day. It's not about motivation every day. It's about the discipline that you have for your body, but also having the outside resources to help you. We had to go against corporate medicine, but we used functional medicine resources to help us through, to help me get to where I am. The first time I had to go on a gluten-free diet, I gave up. It wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. I wasn't convinced that that was my problem until we went back, and Jake actually went back and read more resources and showed me the data and said, we have to try this again. And so using others to help you keep going, to help you improving your quality of life. And that's what we are here to do. That's what this book is here to do, is to show you that everybody has gone through something. We talked about last week, your why is different. Your heart is different. So somebody has gone through what you're going through. Utilize the resources, utilize the data, get to know somebody, get to know us, trust us, and we'll help you through.
And see the really good pictures in the book. I'm a picture kind of guy.
There's lots of pictures.
I don't like big, thick books without pictures.
That's right. There's good pictures, family pictures, but I also designed some pictures.
Yeah.
So
this is exciting. We've got 3 books in our library that we've written now.
Between the two of us, yes.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I know.
Yeah, you didn't want anything to do with being an entrepreneur. You didn't want anything to do with writing a book, and look at you now.
Look at me now. Look at me now.
Cool. Check out the book. Enjoy your day, your week. Like, share. Please share this one with somebody else that needs to hear it. And
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, and think about me every single time you put one of those pieces of candy in your mouth. Because I'll be doing the same thing.
Happy Halloween. Be safe. Go Gators. Ciao
Yes.
for now.
See ya.
Thank you for subscribing on your social media and podcast platforms to the Berman Method. Dr. Jake Berman with Berman Physical Therapy and Jenni Berman, Physician Assistant with Berman Health and Wellness. You can find more information on our website, www.bermanpt.com for physical therapy, bermanpt.com/wellness for the health and wellness. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on your podcast platform. So be sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to us. And if you would like any further information, definitely visit our website and reach out to us. You may also find our free reports on the websites as well, where you can download this free information for yourself. Have a great day.